fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for being here for us. And we're going to
Oh,
I got to remember to keep letting everyone in, but jump straight into it because Joe, you've got about 40 minutes.
yes, before my child gets home, right? We get to do this business around our family, around our life.
We do.
Oh, so hi, Courtney. Hi, Scott and Kat. Hi. Oh, I don't know how to say that name.
Marika.
Marika. Beautiful. And are you guys are you guys all Kiwis? Yeah, some of you?
Oh, some no.
Uh,
Scott and Kat, they're in Oz.
okay.
Marika. I know where you're from. I do, but it's slipping my mind because Matt's grandmother is from the same, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, I'm a Kiwi, just living in Australia, but yeah, it's awesome. I love pouring into different teams and like we're all in the same business and yeah, just hoping that I can literally share like one thing with you guys tonight that you take away because we sit on so many Zooms and so many trainings and it doesn't matter where in our business we're at, it can be super overwhelming. And we get on these calls and we write all these notes and we take all these pictures and I just I really just suggest to you guys that like you just drop in, like, don't write notes. Just really like whatever you need to take away, you're going to take away. That's my biggest suggestion. After years of writing notes on calls and taking photos at events that you never look back at.
Yeah, beautiful. That's so true. And this is recorded as well, so we can always come back and, pick up something else that we missed last time.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, some exciting stuff, Joe. You've got so much going on at the moment, and I know that we're hopefully going to connect in Bali
Yeah.
because we're both going to be in Bali at the same time in the end of August, early September. So that's exciting.
I know. Who is anyone else going to Brody to the Online Empires? Yeah, of course you are, Matt. Oh my God, it's going to be so cool. I love Brody. He's such a cool cat. Like, and I just love what I love about an Magic, and I've been in the online space for 10 years. I love that, all the companies talk about how, we all share everything. And I remember so many times before I would go on stage, like in big events, like I'd be on stage in front of thousands and I'd be like, so should I share everything? Everything that's working. And I so often my uplines would say, yeah, like share so it looks like you're sharing, but like don't give all the secrets away. And I just like that is BS to me. Like I just don't, that's not who I am as a person. It's also not how we all grow. And I just love that in an adjunct, like everybody shares everything. We can all be in different platforms. We can align with whatever leaders we choose to align with because it feels good for us.
Hmm.
And for me, I was in San Diego and I shared on the huddle last night inside the TFE platform where I am that my biggest like takeaway was it didn't matter who I talked to, whether they were a 4A or a legacy, whatever number. They were so open to sharing and they were so humble and so like there was no ego. And I also loved that the front of the room where all the lovely big tables are set out for the legacy income earners, I loved that most of those were empty because the legacy earners were sitting back with their teams because that's what network marketing is about, right? It's about, yeah, I can get there, but now not that I'm there yet, but like now let's get our team there, the ones that are showing up and the ones that are doing the do. And for me, that's why I'm here. Like that's why I'm here in an adjunct because it really is different to every other business model. Like it really is the best way to make an online income in 2025 and beyond. Um,
I love that. And I was just gonna when you said about not sharing, that's also not an abundance mindset. If you're
Correct.
not sharing, you're not in abundance.
That's right. It's
Mm.
and Christy orders my upline. She's my sponsor, and like she shares everything that she does, and as a result, that and Balaj is obviously the same. Was always the same with them, and that's culture. Like culture, like the good and the bad filters down to
Mm.
all of our teams, and yeah, it's total abundance, Holly. You're so right. And it's beautiful and attractive. And it gives me like I want to bring people into this every day because who wouldn't want to be part of this obviously we have game-changing, health-changing products and a life-changing comp plan, but we have a community of people. Like some of my favorite people in the world are in an Enagic, and I've only been here for 16 months, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, and I love that, like you said about the legacy, the people who are at legacy or there who are supposed to be sitting down or at the
Yeah.
front table. That's actually how I met Brody for the first time, as he wasn't sitting
Oh,
at the front table. I was
yeah.
in the bleachers and he came and sat on the stairs, two
Yeah.
stairs down from me, and I was like, meant to be.
Yeah, and that's
So
exactly
cool.
right. And that just like that, that's the kind of leader that I want to be. Like Christy sat with us the whole time. And as a result, walking the halls, I got introduced to so many phenomenal people that I wouldn't have had access to if I hadn't have been walking with Christy.
Mm, yeah, very cool. Well, I've got so many questions for
Yes,
you.
let's get into it.
Okay, cool. So I guess start off, tell us a little bit about your story. Like, where were you
Mm.
before
Yeah,
this? Why are you here? All the things.
of course. So I was in the corporate world. I had a job like so many of us. Who's got a job right now? Yeah, cool. I love that. Yeah, I love that it's like, well, kind of, I'm on the way out. Um, I was working like 100 hours a week, super stressed in the corporate world, like tied to my phone, tied to the boss, tied to the KPIs. And I didn't know that there was another way to make money. Like, I literally didn't know. I just was very tunnel vision. I grew, went to school, went to uni, got the good job, got the good grades, blah, blah, blah. And now I laugh with my son and I don't say to him, don't go to uni, but I'm like, you don't need to because you're going to have your own Enagic business with whatever leader is right for you at the time. It's not going to be me. It'll be some guy who's crushing it. And, like you actually just like we get to show our little people a different way. And that excites me so much because that way it's capped. Like we all know that. But I didn't know what I didn't know. And my brother passed of leukemia, cancer, 13 years ago, just literally 10 days after my son was born. And, prior to that, I was like so corporate, so like in love with my career. And when he passed, it wasn't like instant, but within a year or two, I really was like, oh my God, like I don't want this to be my life. He used to say to me all the time, he was such a Kiwi guy, like, big rugby player prop, one of these like, he'd only talk about his feelings or tell you that he loved you when he'd had like 1,200 beers, like such a party boy. And we used to party all the time. And he'd be like, you're never fun. You're not fun anymore. Like you work all the time. And after he died, I was like, oh my God, like I don't want this to be my life. Like who else is like, that is a shit life. Like we get signed up to this thing because society says that we have to, that's the way. And actually, it's not setting us up for success, having a mortgage that people can't afford these days. And because interest rates are rising and their job is capped, their income is capped, like that is setting everyone up for financial distress, not financial abundance.
Mm.
So network marketing fell into my lap. And I literally went to my first event like 10 years ago and I watched these people walk the stage. And I had a big ego back then, you guys. Like I was in corporate. I was very big ego. And I remember thinking and probably saying to my mate who got me into it, I was like, oh my God, if these people can like make $1 million, like I definitely can. So I built hard and built to the top of that company. And then that company it didn't fold and it's still around, but it stopped working the way that it was working. And so I moved to another company and then got to the top of that. And then the same thing happened. And to be honest, I nearly left this industry, but I never, although I'd lost like faith and trust that those companies could get me the where I wanted to go and give me the security that I wanted for Ben and I never gave up on this industry. Like I want you guys just to put in the chat, like when you found an Enagic or when you found your first online business, whatever it was, like tell me how you felt when you realized that like anything was possible, that income is uncapped, that you could live where you wanted, that you could have what you wanted. Like just share with me in the chat because I I never forgot that feeling of that first event. I was in Isogenics for 5 years and I remember sitting in that event and I was like, oh my God, like, wow, like I can have the most magical, fucking phenomenal life. And I never want to forget that feeling. And it was that feeling and that knowing that had me not leave this industry, but I also knew that I had to do something different. Exactly. It was a holy shit moment, right? Um, and I'd actually been introduced to an adject like many times over the years, but and maybe some of you had had this experience. I used to watch people like Christy and Beck online because Beck was in the same company as me, and I didn't know her and I've never met her. I can't wait to go visit her in Dubai. But I remember just thinking, it's got to be fake. Like it's clearly a scam. Like it can't be that good. And then luckily someone said to me 2 years ago, probably now, a good probably 6 months before I joined. She said to me, and she was someone I really trusted. I've got a network marketing coaching business. She was my business partner in that business. And she said to me, if you had have honestly looked, like studied the comp plan, because I study comp plans, I used to train on stage on the comp plans. She said, if you really understood the comp plan, you would not be looking to join another low ticket business. You would be in an AGIC. And we were in our hotel room. We were doing strategy days in Sydney. And I waited till she fell asleep and I got my phone out and I was like, an AGIC comp plan. Well, about 3 hours later, I was like, I need her to wake up because she needs to connect me to Christy because I'm going to do this business and it's with Christy. And luckily, the rest is history. That's kind of my story.
Cool. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love it that you never lost faith in
Yeah.
this industry. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool to know like you've done a lot before. I've never done anything like this
Yeah.
before. So it's really cool that there's both,
Mhm.
complete polar opposites in here and we can still make it work for us regardless.
Yeah. And Holly, that's such a good point because when I first started, probably for my first year in here, pretty much everyone I brought in was low ticket network marketers. A lot of my coaching clients came over, and some of them have done incredibly well. And others, like you, Holly and Matt, like you've never done this before and you're doing really well. And one of my favorite things, and sorry if some of you, if you were on the huddle last night, you would have heard this, but one of the speakers on stage in San Diego shared this, and it just dropped in for me. It was everything. He said, when you walk into an event and a few people are wealthy, like you walk in an event of thousands, I'm talking about, and there's clearly people who are wealthy, but they are very few and far between. He said, then they are good at this business. And when you walk into an event where there's clearly wealth everywhere, and wealth in all areas, not just money, like wealth of time and care and heart and all of the things. Because you guys know people that are stressed financially, stressed because they're in a job that they hate or that's taking all of them, like they are not abundant in love and time and everything else. He said, and when you walk into an event and there's lots of wealth, he said, then it is a good business model. And I looked around and I was like, there is wealth everywhere in this room of over 4,000 people. And what I loved, it was wealth across like continent, across country. Like it was so many different, like there was more people, and I don't quote me on this because I'm not great at like detail, but I'm pretty sure there was more people from the Philippines than Australia right at the event. Like that's a third world country.
Hmm.
And
India as well. They're like amazing.
India, that's right. Oh my God, Indians everywhere. Mexico. Like it was just I love that. Like I love my thing, my mission is about basically like moving wealth between countries, like literally redistributing wealth. And this is a business model where we get to do that. I love Scott and Kat, what you've said. For me, when my upline made 110K a month, yes. Oh my God, the reality hit me. Yes, you're like, I am truly on track. And if they can, if he can, if she can, I can too. Right? Like that's so cool. I love that you got that, bro.
All right. So questions, because I've got lots for you.
Yeah, yeah,
And you guys, if you guys have got questions and we've got
yeah, of
time, like drop them in the chat so that Joe can answer them for you.
course.
So, what would you say is the top three most important things to understand and to implement when someone is starting out or in the early stages of their business?
Yeah. The first one is it's just being open, right? And that starts before they even say yes to an adjunct and yes to their life. But like when I'm looking for people online or offline, I'm looking for people who are open, people who are not like, this is it, because those people are not my people. They're not our people. The second one is like I train my team really hard that they need to understand the comp plan. You don't need to be able to draw on a whiteboard to legacy, but you need to be able to show people how to make money. Because if you can't show people how to make money, like how are you going to like that's not aspirational, right? For me, in all honesty, like I was on in corporate, I was on $250,000. Like I was earning more than anybody I knew except my boss. My husband was daddy daycare. Like I was like it, I thought. And for me, the only reason I said yes to even looking at this was my bestie, luckily, who I had she knew that although I had this amazing income, I had no time. And she literally called me and she was like, now we both know yes, you earn money, great money, but you're very stressed all the time. You're very tired. You're fat because I was in corporate and hotels every night and drinking lots of wine because I was so stressed. And she said, I'm going to meet up with you. And I was going on a work trip to where she lived. So she's a Kiwi like me. And we had a glass of rosé, probably a bottle if I'm honest. And she drew out on a paper napkin the comp plan for that company and showed me not just like this the starting money, but showed me like that I could actually out earn my corporate salary. And it was a few months later before I joined. But when we show someone that, like it just puts seeds in my brain, like because I couldn't stop thinking about it then. We all say I couldn't unsee what I saw. And it was true for me. Like I couldn't unsee it. And the people that I've brought into this business who have gone the fastest and gone the furthest so far are the ones that I was like, okay, so what are you earning right now in your job or your bricks and mortar business or your online business? And let me show you how we can out earn that in, 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months. And the third one would be, to just be a student. Like I love that Christy was in the event and she shared last night that she was there to learn. She wasn't there to be out in the hallways and be networking and doing videos and selfies and shit. Of course we did all of that, but she was there to learn. Like I am just always a student and always coachable because although I've done this for 9 years before in Agic, I built online. I didn't build online like I've never done ads before. Who's doing ads here? Yeah, awesome. Oh, so good, you guys. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. I had something, but you've lost my mind now. Anyway,
That's okay.
so okay, this is a little bit of a how do you anchor your
Hmm.
energy when
Yeah.
someone challenges the price or the business model?
Yeah, look, and I know Brody says this as well. I follow all of Brody's online empire stuff. Like if someone, so I'll be totally honest and not to be a sound like an annoying badass, but I don't get objections about the price. And the reason I don't is because before we even get to that part of the conversation, I'm so deeply in knowing, like if I was on a call with Holly or I'm in the DMs with her, I know what she's not liking about her life. I know the nail that she's sitting on, whether she's fighting with Matt because I don't have enough money, whether obviously this is totally, theoretical, whether she's like not loving where she lives or not loving her job or she's stressed all the time, whatever it is. And I think it's really easy in the sales process to forget that we are in charge.
Mm.
Like it's not our lead that is in charge of that conversation, whether it's online or offline. Like I am in charge of it. I direct traffic, if you like. So if someone says to me, I'm like, so why now? Why are you looking at creating an online income now? And they say, I hate my job. I don't just gloss over to the next question. I'm like, okay, tell me about that. Like, what do you hate? Do you hate what you do every day? Like, and then they're like, no, I hate that I drop off my kids at before school care at 7 and I pick them up at 6 at night. I'm like, okay, so you wish you had more quality time with your family. And I dig into that because one, I need to know that stuff to know if this is going to be right for the person. But two, I want them to know that I give a shit, like that I'm actually different to the other 300 people they're talking to about online business. Because let's be honest, in 2025, most people that we're talking to are not just looking at an adjective, or they could be looking at an adjective with different people. And although, of course, I'm the first one to say we all get to legacy, whether we like it or not, we're in competition with each other. So I want my sales process to really, I want them to feel deeply. I want them to get off that call. And I don't push for a sale on the first call. I know lots of closers do, but like I quite often close on a second call. That's just my style. And probably that's my style because that's me and who I am as well. I don't often say yes or pay on the first call either. But I'm like, people do business with humans that they know, like, and trust. And so how can I know, like, and trust, or how can they know, like, and trust me if I haven't really given two shits about what they're telling me?
Mm. Yeah, love that. There's something I had to learn actually is not to fast track the sale, not to
Yeah. Yeah.
sale, always take it slow. James at Freedom Day, I was like,
Oh, yes. Yeah. And we all want to do that,
patient.
right? Like we all want to fast track the process because we're busy and we want that rank or we want that money. But when we even start to think like that, we're going to lose the sale. Like we really will. Whereas when we're in a place of abundance and and for me, like I get into that place of abundance and that energetic vibe because I'm human like the rest of you. I'm not a magical unicorn. My man's had like a vomiting bug for 2 days and so, or anyway, it doesn't even like a stomach bug thing. So, although he doesn't live with me, I couldn't send him back to his apartment up the road because he was so sick. But I was like, oh God, I've got like so many calls. My business is booming since San Diego. So every morning I had to be even more intentional. I had to get up, even though he was sick in bed, and go to the gym at 7 and have my infrared sauna and come home and have my shower and listen to my Yes Life script in the shower. Because if I don't do that stuff every day and it's not a habit for me, then on the days that I wake up tired because he's been up all night sick, then I'm not going to have a good day in life or business. And that frequency stuff it's so important.
Mm. So, so important. So, do you build offline? And when someone asks you what you do,
Mm.
what's your response?
Oh, I'll give you guys the best example. So I'll be totally honest. Until San Diego, I have only built an Magic online. And which is interesting. And because I built my first business, Isogenics, I built that off, like I didn't even have a Facebook account when I started that business. And I was working 100 hours a week. So I didn't exactly have time to learn how to do it all. So I built with like belly to belly, as they say. Like I'd run into someone in the gym or I'd be at a networking event. Like I was very good at face to face. And it struck me while I was in San Diego that the reason I haven't felt confident, to be honest, to do that is because I didn't have the conviction that I have now about an adject because I had lost so much trust in the industry. And I was sitting at Sydney Airport about to fly to San Diego, and it was like 7 in the morning. And the chick next to me in the bar, because have my favorite, we all have our favorite bar before we fly out. It's cocktail time somewhere in the world, right? She was having a mimosa, and I was like, oh, that looks amazing. So I ordered a mimosa. We got chatting. I said, where are you going? She said, I'm going to Auckland. And I said, oh my God, I'm a Kiwi. And she said, I'm so pissed off. I missed my flight. It was at 6 a.m. And I was like, 6 a.m. flight? I said, why did you miss it? And she said, well, actually, I'm pissed off at my company because she was an ops manager for Australia and New Zealand. She said, I've been working around the clock, like they've been hammering me, and I'm stressed and tired, and I literally slept through my alarm. And I said, okay, well, that's on them. That's their fault. So obviously they paid for your new flight. She said, of course. Um, and then she said, where are you going? And I said, San Diego. And she said, what for? And I said, oh, I make money online and I help people to do the same. And then we just got chatting, and it turns out her job, although she loves it, of course, she has flexibility because she can do it from anywhere, but she doesn't have freedom. And until February, her and her partner lived in Mexico. And I was just quietly, I'm just thinking and processing. And when she said that, I was like, wow. And would you love to live back in Mexico? She said, yeah, but my job, like I had to come back here eventually. And I was like, okay. And she said, so can you live anywhere and do what you do? And I was like, anywhere. And we swapped Instagrams and I just left it like that. But then while I was in San Diego, it just happened that so like 3 people that I grabbed to do little videos with that I didn't know, they all lived in Mexico, you guys. Like, And I couldn't, I just, it was one of those moments of, oh my gosh, the universe is looking after me. And the whole time I was there, she was messaging me. And obviously, I have a team of VAs and I was sending them this content. I'm like, get this up today. I've got someone watching who is going to want this content. So although I'm going to start to build offline, I still use my online content to then nurture them through the sales process. And she has a call with my sales team tomorrow. And I 100% know that she'll join us in this business because who wouldn't, right? Like this is the best business model in the world.
That's awesome. I love that.
I
That's
think when like when you're excited, like I feel after 10 years online, I feel like I did building that first business when I was like ignorance on fire and talking to everybody. I'm like, although I'm not like, oh my God, it's a magic, I will be like, yeah, we all drink water, right? Like I have the best water in the world. And that's another big thing that I took away from San Diego for myself. I've never talked about the products. I've never led with them. I'm not saying I will lead with them, but I will be incorporating them now into my content because we literally have something that like we all know that everybody gets to have.
yeah. Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who's been in the space for 12 months or longer and hasn't really had the traction that they'd like?
Yeah, first of all, I would say fucking congrats for not giving up on yourself because most people do, right? Most people, their ego gets in the way and they're like, oh my God, I've been here 3 months and I haven't made a sale, or 6 months or a year. Like I've got women in my team, just because I'm nearly dash two and I've done it fast doesn't mean that everyone in my team duplicates the same, right? And I just keep saying to those people, just keep showing up and keep doing the do. Like this is a training ground. I said to someone in my team last night, okay, you went to university for 5 years to do accounting or however long you had to do that. And you weren't amazing in your first year, were you? Like you were literally training. And then I just also say to them, like, is it okay with you if you get to legacy income where you're paid every month for the rest of your life in 10 years?
Mm.
And they're like, of course. So I'm like, cool. So just keep showing up. I also, as a mentor, as I'm sure Holly, you and Matt do, like I'm like, okay, if someone is showing up consistently and they're not getting the results, then I will invite them to a call with me and I will do things like open my screen and help them optimize their social media or whatever it is, or look at their ads or like at the end of the day, mentoring is about teaching our team what we've learned. But I'm also okay to be like, I haven't built with ads in this business until now. So you need to go and follow Brody, or you need to do a call with Denise Turner or someone in the TFE platform who is building with ads. Like I'm very much a mentor who is like, this is my wheelhouse. And anything outside of this, you get to go and build relationships with other people.
Yeah, cool. I love that. It's actually just made me think of got a couple of people in our team that are building faceless.
Yeah, wow.
And
I haven't
yeah,
got any experience with that.
no, neither do I. So always asking the questions, whoever we're meeting when I'm talking to brokers,
Yes.
do you know anyone? So
Yeah.
yeah, because I think it's really interesting. Like you said, you've got your own way of building. And
Yeah.
I built online, but zero
Mhm.
ads for the
Yeah.
first 12 months and only recently just got into ads and they
Yeah.
pumped. So,
Amazing, Holly. I'm so
so
excited for
good.
you. But
So
yeah,
good.
oh my God, like I want like let's find out between us who is probably in the US who is building faceless.
Mm,
Because and now that we've had this conversation, probably someone will show up in our feed later
yes,
tonight
you
because that's
will.
how it works, right?
They'll come to us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, do you have a personal money mantra or a belief or something that you do when things are sticky, when they're not
Yeah,
happening?
yeah. I'll teach you my couple of things that I do. So I've worked with Denise Duffield Thomas for a number of years. She's a money mentor in Australia. She wrote Chillpreneur. That was her first book. She also wrote Get Rich Lucky Bitch. For any of you that are like that want to go and read those books, they're both phenomenal. So Denise Duffield Thomas. So I'm part of her paid money boot camp, and I joined that boot camp. I literally remember I was staying at my mum's in Wellington. It was years ago. It was like such a stretch to commit to the monthly subscription of probably whatever it is, $97, maybe less. Like such a stretch. But I was like, I have to do something differently. And being in that container with a few thousand women who all were wanting to work on their money stuff and who were all like, there was a lot of people in there, maybe not a lot, but there were people in there doing 100K months and 50K months well before I was. And, I literally just like environment is everything, right? As we know. So being in that environment showed me, okay, so like I get to raise that income ceiling all of the time. For me, what I do, and this is something that you guys can do. So Denise Duffield Thomas has an app called oh, I think it's Lucky Bitch. I literally have it on my, yeah, Lucky Bitch. And it's a money tracking dashboard. So it's not for expenses, it's just for income, you guys. It's so good. And so anytime I get money today, someone paid me 6,000 to work with me one-on-one for 3 months as a coach. As soon as that money drops, I go $6,000. It asks me how I feel about it. I write a couple of notes because obviously being grateful, we get more. And you can set a goal for the month and it's just really fun. So that's the Lucky Bitch app. Um, and also, I actually have on my whiteboard, like everything is temporary because, I have moments of scarcity and debt and bills and everything as well. And a book that you guys have probably read that Christy put me onto when I first started working with her was, oh, this one. You're a badass at making money. If you guys haven't read that, or like I bought the hard copy because I like doing notes in it, but I listened to the audio. Literally, when she said download that and listen to it, I think I'd listen to it 4 hours later, and it's about 3.5 hours long. And it was actually that everything is temporary that I took from Jen Sincero because it's so true. Like when we're in the shit, it's really easy to be like, oh my God, I'm in the shit. But when we focus on I'm in the shit, what do we get more of? Shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. Love that book too. It's a great
Yeah,
book.
so
Listen
good.
to it on Audible. Um, if you were starting from scratch,
Mm,
what would you focus on first for your first 30 days?
mm. My first 30 days, I would really just be like, I would tap into the excitement that I felt when I first realized that like
Mm.
my life could change if I did something different. And I would have that come across on my socials. Like our socials don't have to be perfect. Like I say this to my team and TFE when I do calls all the time, like spend less time making your canvas amazing and more time actually writing content for your person. I would first of all get super clear on who it is that you want to work with. Like I don't want to work with, for example, broke people. I don't want to work with people that don't have drive. I don't want to work with people who, and this is just me, I don't work with people who haven't had some success in their life before. It doesn't have to be money, but they've achieved something, they've set a goal, they've got out of a situation. Maybe they were an addict and they've got out of that addiction. Like that is drive and willpower right there. Like anyone, I've got quite a few addicts in my team. Like and like they are so hungry and because they've also proven to themselves that they can do hard shit.
Yeah, I love that. What do you think is the key to calling in your person for those
Mm,
who've like, yeah, really dialed in on who they want to speak to?
yeah. I think the first thing is I think we have to just like this is such an important part of the piece that we have to take time on this. Like this is not something that when you first start this business or when you've got a new teamie that's first starting, you can't like this stuff can't be worked out in 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm.
Right. And like mine evolves all the time. I'm sure yours evolves all the time too, Holly. Like just at the end of the day, the person that you want to work with, like the person that gets to work with you, most importantly, like they get to work with you. Like it's not everybody. Like if we're here for everybody, we're here for nobody. And when we really think about who we want to work with, and that has to excite us. And then we get to create. And none of us are going to be content creators immediately. Like I'm still learning. I didn't have a VA for my first however many years in this business. I did it all myself, you know. But now I know I'm like, oh no, vanilla content and polarizing content. And someone said to me the other day, what does that mean? I'm like, okay, so when I put out a piece of content, I know if I get lots of like, wow, that talked to me, and then lots of silence, then I know that that hasn't talked to those people. And that's good because I'm not their person. Like if they want to do an adject, they can go and do it with somebody who's going to be their person. Because the people that are right for us, the people that we need to be building this business with, the people that we get to show legacy income and beyond, they will find us if we're dialed into who they are.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
And often it really is our former version of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we all know who that is. And sometimes putting that mirror up is tough, right? Like I didn't love that corporate version of myself, but you know, because she had a big ego and she was driven and successful. And to be honest, I didn't care about my family. I cared more about my my team and my business KPIs and my bonuses than I did about my husband and my son, if I'm totally honest. And but I also know that that's why I got to where I did and why I've got to where I am here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm aware of time and I have two
Yeah.
more questions for
Yeah.
you. What's one mindset shift or
Mm,
micro action that could help someone on this call go to
mm.
the next level?
Yeah. So I use Alex Tripod's vibe boosters.
Are you in
I
the
love
100
them.
days or 100
Yeah.
seconds?
Oh my God, am I in there? I love it. Yeah. Like I
Me
just,
too.
you know, I love her vibe boosters. I have them saved in the notes. Everything I need, like quickly, I have saved in my notes on my phone, and I have her vibe boosters. And I don't listen to them every day, but when I need to listen to them, they're there. But honestly, what I do every day is my Yes Life script. And I literally just read. I came back from San Diego, and it was actually probably 2 or 3 days ago. I was listening to it in the shower, and I was like, oh, pretty much that's all happened. So that's awesome. But then like I need to do another one. So I got out of the shower and I recorded a new one with my next things I want to do in the next 6 months. Because when we really understand the power of scripting and writing it down and recording it and listening to it every day, like everything I want in my life, I get. And I know that it's because of that Yes Life script process.
Yes, I love that. Um, okay. Okay, maybe I've got two more since we've got a little bit of time. What's working right now in your content and your conversations that's
Mm.
attracting high quality leads?
Yeah, real, just like I know everyone is saying this online right now, but right now more than ever, like what is working is being really authentic and real.
Mm.
Like I've shared stuff on my socials that I never have in the last few days. And that's because I got some feedback from someone in San Diego that I can't even remember who it was. She was like, so I don't get it. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I really like you in real life, but online you really triggered the fuck out of me and I didn't like you. Like I used to like stop listening if you were on a call. And she was like, but in real life you're like playful and fun and that didn't come across. And you know, like Balaj says, like I feedback is good for us. And although it's tough, yes, they're exactly right. And I really have taken that on. And I've really like I've done some video stories and had little tears and it's like, yes, it's a social media platform for us to build a business, but it's a social media platform, whatever platform we use, to have people like invite them into our world. Because, like I said before, whether we like it or not, cute cat. I've got a ginger as well. Whoever we're talking to, they are talking to so many other people about an adject, about low ticket, about affiliate marketing, about course creation. Like it's all there for them. It's like here's a menu. What would you like? But the person that is going to evoke emotion in them is the person that they're going to follow and probably join.
Mm. I can see my husband laughing in the background while you're saying that and knowing that, yeah, it's a little bit of me as well. I
Yeah.
like to trigger people online. And
Yeah.
I think that people like us, I don't know what you are, you're human design. I'm 5'1".
Oh, I'm a
Um,
5'1".
yeah. There you go. No, we are naturally there to trigger people into
Yeah.
doing the thing, which is cool. But yes, also we need to make sure that we are having fun. We are open.
Yes.
We are showing that side of
Because
ourselves.
we are fun and playful, but yeah, I wasn't showing all of that. Like, and to be honest with you guys, like, I hadn't even shared online that I'd left my marriage 3 years ago. Like, obviously, most people knew, but like, and I didn't share there's no details to share, but I did share it the other day. And then I didn't go, oh my God, and I've got a new man, but I shared at the weekend some video stories of clearly my new man and his celebrating his birthday. And I love that my coach in the US messaged me, and I hadn't even done this as like a soft launch of my new relationship, but she was like, oh, I love the soft launch of your new man. And I was like, oh, I just like am suddenly like, well, why haven't I shared any of that? Like, it's kind of weird, really.
Yeah, I love it. All right. If you could wave a nice little magic wand over us
Yes.
tonight,
Yes.
what would you want each of us to walk away believing or doing?
Just believing that you can, you guys. Like whether you're watching the replay or you're here live with me, like you can. If I can, you can. If Balaj can, you can. If Holly and Matt can, you can. If Christy can, you can. If Brody can, you can. Like we're all freaking normal humans. We all just got out of our own way, got coachable as fuck, did the work while it was sexy and unfun, did the work before we were invited on Zooms by Holly to talk to their team, before we were invited on stages. Like it is relentless work. And to be honest, and I said this to someone the other day, the 2 years that I had the full-time job and was building this, they were the hardest 2 years of my life. Like I can't tell you how many nights I would come home off a flight or a 14-hour day and get into my son's cot and cuddle him and fall asleep because I was exhausted. And my husband knew that like he always woke me up at like 9 o'clock or 8:30 to do it because he knew I had to do an hour's work on my business. Because if he didn't wake me up, I'd be pissed because how was I going to get out of this to get to this? And so it was the hardest 2 years of my life. And I'm so grateful that I didn't give up on myself and on the dream of what was possible because now I really am living an amazing version of my life. And you all get to do that too, no matter where you are, whether you're 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for
Oh,
coming on
it's
tonight.
my pleasure, Holly and
Thank
Matt and
you.
all of you guys. And I'm so I would love to stay and chat, but I'm so conscious that my son is about to walk in any minute from soccer training.
Yeah, thank you so much. Honestly, you're awesome. And yeah, you've given us so much value tonight. So
Oh, I love you guys. If any of you do any stories, make sure you tag me Instagram, Yes Life Money with Joe.
yes, let's do that. Let's all create stories. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Joe. Have a great
Bye,
night.
everyone. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Hey, how good? How good is she? So, guys, let's share our wins for the week because I know we've got some. Scott, start telling us about your ad. What's going on?
So my ad kicked ass out of all my ads. I just signed up my first quad ever.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, that's amazing. Holy, that's so good. That's so
I didn't swear either,
good.
so that's pretty good. I didn't swear either, so that's pretty good. I that is literally the paperwork just went today, and it's like, oh my goodness. So really cool. My ad is cracking. So the biggest thing I've changed up is the conversations from Brody's Q&As, Brody's sales mastery. Just get on that, guys, and just really adopt that, make it your own. Don't change it too much, but just stick to his process. Hey, I've had night and day difference from where I came from to where I am now. That's how. Sick.
Yes,
Sick.
that is so exciting. Oh my gosh. I love it. I can feel
A
your
bit
excitement.
excited.
Yeah, so like I think we just put the paperwork through like it was like 7 minutes before the call tonight. So it's
Yeah.
pretty rare, pretty raw.
Holy shit. Oh, well, I'm glad that we're here to celebrate with you. That's so cool.
It's pretty good.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, so we won't be eating here tonight.
Yeah, we're going off to the pub to celebrate.
Yes. Go and spend it before it even hits the bank. Awesome. So,
Absolutely.
do you, oh, wait, which ad is this?
Don't scroll. That's the one. Don't scroll. Beanie on, angry guy on the beach. Don't scroll. Tied by 40. Yep, you. Simple.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Surely a 15-second ad. Is it like 15 seconds?
Well, yeah.
12
Yeah.
seconds.
So that's pretty cool. And like I was grumpy on it, and anyway, I was just On the beach, I was yelling at the phone like, "Don't scroll!" And like the last one I did was just don't scroll, and it was just firm. There was no bullshit. It was just straight. I don't care if you don't send me a message, but you probably should, and they do. Like
Yeah,
while we've been sitting here, I think there's been 6 since we've been just sitting here. It's just ridiculous.
yeah.
That is
So
amazing.
it just has enough curiosity. There's enough in it for people to actually want to contact and say, yeah, tell me more about it.
Yeah.
You know, not
Yeah.
giving anything away really.
I think, and for me, the biggest one about this ad is you seem genuine. You really seem different to the other people I've been messaging, and they keep having a chat. So then I'm putting questions about them, and they like we just got a 3-screen reply, like 3 screens worth of messages from it. That's the longest reply I've ever got. I can't believe it. The guy's just told me so much, and I said, man, I want to give you a better reply than I can. I'm about to jump on a 10 call in 10. Here's some info. I'm going to talk to you about it tomorrow, and I don't want you to leave you hanging. Like, well, what do you do? Like
Wow.
they're out there, guys. They're out there. Just talk your story, talk how you want to talk to people, give them a reason and keep a bit of curiosity.
Yeah.
I can, I'm a bike mechanic, for God's sake. I have my own business. These are my salesmen. These were my sales tools. And now it's like, if I can do this, you guys, anyone can.
But who was it that said you can't say the wrong thing?
There's
Yeah.
some customers, some people that come in your inbox, and we just had that experience that you won't be able to say the wrong thing. They're going to buy. This
Yeah.
guy is just, I've just finished watching your video. It's exactly what I've been looking for. I'm 110% invested. When can we book a call? Sign me up, full stop. That was the message. Just like, man, really?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
There was no way he was gonna you know, not do it.
Yeah, so
yeah,
they're
great
out there.
question.
They're out
Yeah.
there. You just keep speaking, just the numbers. Like Brody said in one of his recent sales masteries, every no is just a brick that builds the home, and you can't build them without bricks, right? Every no is another brick, and you got to have a lot of no's to build a brick, right? A lot of bricks to build a home, right? That's
Yeah.
a lot of no's. Just keep searching for the no's and keep talking like they're going to buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've learned heaps in the last couple of months. It's been great.
So cool.
Anyway,
Oh,
what about you?
congratulations. That's awesome. That's so good. And you've got someone else that's ready to jump on a call with you again, or 6 more people. That's so cool.
Oh, it's just
It's really cool. So, can I I'm going to put the gallery on so I can see everyone on here, and if I can, I want to ask everyone to put their hands up if they're running ads at the moment. Who's running ads at the moment? Brilliant. So anyone who hasn't got their hands up, we just need to get some ads, and all that comes from I couldn't speak to the camera until I started speaking to the camera, and I don't know shit from Clay. I'm just having my best go, just like you guys. So the more I spoke to the camera, the more confident Catherine got to speak to the camera, and it just sort of bounced off, and then bingo, it just came to me. I did it, and I did an ad that I loved. It didn't work, so I turned it off. Just keep making them. Hang on, just you become a believer pretty quick. Here I am.
So, your next
Anyway.
will be to scale your ad? Because I know that this is something that Brody said. He said, my only regret is that I didn't scale earlier. And it sticks in my mind
It's
every day. And I'm like, I've got these 2 good ads, and my Matt, who's nodding his head back there, he's like, don't you turn that ad off. Don't you turn that fucking ad off. You keep that ad running. Scale it, scale it. So next is the scale, yeah?
yeah. I've experienced the opposite, and I'm still not convinced. I turned my ad spend down from 37 US a day to 20, and that's where this sale came from.
Wow, okay. That's a lot though. $20 a
So,
day. That's a lot.
my ad accounts from my old business a decade ago, and it was set up in US. I didn't know how to use it back then, and you can't change it once it's set up. So that's the world I'm in. But 20 US a day, I think it's about $30, $31 or something.
when we did
$9.
put more money into it, nothing happened.
Now it's at 30. I don't reckon I've got two more leads every day. I'm not. So I think there's a sweet spot for different ads. I wasn't a believer in that, but I think we've just experienced that. I reckon I could turn that off back down to $20 and it'll be fine. But I had 35 US on my Olive Grove ad, and I had 3 leads a week.
Yeah, that was not
Jump.
Yeah.
Jump. I don't think money's the bit. I think the creative is. I think the creative's the real key. So that's what I'm thinking. Oh, honey. Yes.
Well, thank you.
The cat's just
Thank you for
just
sharing.
climbed up.
Oh, you
in the
can
bunch of
see.
photographs. That's good. Cheeky bugger. Anyway, that's what I think I've just experienced. Like that was a $20 a day ad. What do you spend on your ads? What's your ad spend a day? Is it 10, 20, 15, 25? Where are you?
Yeah, one's on 25 and one's on 15, I think.
Yeah, see, so
Cool.
I haven't done separate ad spends. I've always stuck to campaigns. And
Mm.
in the beginning, it was because of understanding of the ads manager and the rest of it. I really understand it all really well now, but I still have a budget, a campaign budget, and I'm happy for it to feed whatever one's working the best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to try and test. Like, if the algorithm's going to feed a working ad, I'm going to listen to that. If I want to try something else, I'll do it. I've got another leads campaign I'm about to launch as well, but that's another story, right? But so far, I've just ran a campaign instead of trying to confuse it because it's worked.
With algorithms.
It's worked. I've turned the good ad off and tried all the others, and I didn't have any more leads. So it's the Instagram do its job.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Exciting. Well, keep us updated on how you're going there with all your new leads. That's so exciting. Does anyone else want to share a win for the week? No worries, Sarah. Have a good night. No. Cool. All right. Well, I'm a little unorganized if I'm completely honest, on what our tasks were for last week. So if you've got anything that you want to share on last week, anything that you would like to learn or go into for maybe not for next week, but for our last week. So we're going to extend for week 7, because we've got Brody next week. Yes. So also for this week, if we've got any questions that you guys want to ask this freaking legend, then write them down, send them to me, and I'll put them on my list, and we'll keep him on. We'll keep him on, and we'll drag all the goodness out of him because it's a real privilege to have him on our training. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, send me any questions that you want to ask him. And for week 7, if there's anything that anyone wants to go over again or go deeper into or talk about something that we haven't spoken about yet, then I'm just going to make a post with this recording and let's just put it on the post or into the group chat so that we can hook into it. Cool. All right. Have a great week, guys, and keep sharing your wins in the chat. Congratulations, Scott and Kat. That's freaking awesome. See you guys.